Here it is, people, the weapon review of the week. By the way, I hope you enjoyed that intro. In my opinion, it's really the song that makes the whole thing look good. So if you did enjoy it and you would like to see more intros like this one, hit the like button, fellas. Hit the like button so I know that I should get my ass more into the spectator mode and harass my friends on Battlelog to help me make them. Which, by the way, reminds me to thank both of my wonderful actors, Minder and Infinity. So if you would like to compliment them on their performance, you can do that. I have linked their channels in the description. Now on to the weapon review. So this time I thought I would give the PDWs a chance. Yes, the PDWs, the weapons you can only use in the engineers class, but no one really uses them because carbines or carbines or whatever the fuck. I know I can't pronounce the fucking word, so you know what I mean. Carbines, carabines. Look, I'll tap it on the screen right now. Boom, there you go. And in this video I'm going to be talking about the PDW-R specifically. One of the very few PDWs I have tried, but also one of the best that I've laid my pretty little hands on. And I'm not going to be telling you here that it's the best out there, because the truth is that I just haven't tried all of them, so I couldn't possibly tell you which one is the best. But I can tell you that it's a damn good one. It's a damn sexy PDW. And I've literally never had any bad games whilst using this weapon. But let's talk stats first. Now roll the tape of shooting this weapon in slow-mo. The PDW puts out a maximum damage of 25 and a minimum of 15.4. The damage drop-off starts at 8 meters and it comes to a complete stop at 50 meters, where it puts out a minimum damage of 15.4, like I mentioned before. It shoots 750 rounds per minute with a bullet velocity of 460 meters per second, which is quite good actually for PDW. When the gun is suppressed, however, the bullet velocity drops to 280 meters per second, which again actually really isn't that bad for PDW if you compare it to some of the other ones. The magazine holds 31 rounds, and the reload times are 3.4 seconds when the gun is absolutely dry and holds no bullets, and 2.5 seconds when the gun still has a bullet in the chamber. So those are the stats, people, or at least the most important stats, in my opinion. And as you just saw, these stats are in fact pretty good for PDW. We have a decent rate of fire, a good muzzle velocity, and a very low recoil and spread on this gun. The hip fire is actually very decent as well, which is always something I'm looking for when I'm using a PDW. And when I pick a PDW, I want a gun that shoots fast and fires accurately from the hip. I think those are the two most important features to me, and a PDW-R has those features, absolutely. Now, the only thing that I do not quite like about this weapon are the reload times, especially when the gun is completely dry. So that's something that you will just have to deal with, I'm afraid. Especially if you're a beginner in Battlefield 4. But all of you other brave souls who have been battling the field for a long time now, I don't really think that will be much of an issue. I mean, you guys have been dealing with this for a long time now. Just make sure that you make your shots count, and don't be a serial reloader, you know, changing your clip every time you fire off a shot, which is actually something that I'm often guilty of. But I'm trying to better myself here, people. I'll just add it to my New Year's resolution list. But what makes this gun so good and so unique compared to one of the most used PDWs like, let's say, the MX4 or the UMF 45? Well, what's so unique about the PDW-R is its range. The PDW-R's drop-off damage ends a lot further compared to any of the other PDWs in the game, and it does more damage at range. Now combine that with the low recoil and the fast fire rate of the PDW-R, and you have yourself a pretty good weapon that can deal a lot of damage to enemies at medium range, which is necessary in this game. I even found myself being able to outgun someone that was carrying a carbine or even an assault rifle. And this gun also does extremely well at close range, especially with the hipfire on this baby. It has less spread than both the UMF and the MX4. Now the UMF 45 does deal a lot more damage up close. You would still be better off using that weapon up close, but still, the PDW-R is a great all-around weapon, a great all-around PDW with some pretty impressive stats. But why should you run with a PDW-R instead of a carbine, or however the fuck you pronounce it? Because I can do it, I can pronounce that word right, but still, we're going off the subject here. Since something like the ACWR is far more superior, you know, why should you use a PDW? Well, to be honest, I really can't find any reason why you should. Especially on some of the more open maps and game modes like Rush or Conquest. I think you're way better off using a carbine when playing those game modes. But if you're playing Domination when all the action happens real fast and real close to you, the PDWs are a fine alternative to one of the carbines. To me, it's a lot of fun to use, and I consider it sort of a challenge, you know? I like to use all kinds of different guns, and at the end of the day, I do believe being able to handle and do well with all different kinds of weapons makes you a better infantry player in Battlefield 4. At least that's what I think. Now let's talk attachments. So what attachments go best with the PDW-R? Well, the first attachments that I would go with, of course, is the laser sight. I think that's pretty much self-explanatory, you know, to get that hipfire going on. And as a barrel attachment, I would definitely go with a compensator because the PDW-R does have some side-to-side recoil. So the compensator will take care of that, of course. Although putting a suppressor on this bad boy would also work really well. I love running around with the suppressor on this thing and just flying the enemy, taking them out left and right, just one by one. It's a lot of fun. And as you can see from the gameplay, using a suppressor in Domination really pays off if you know how to position yourself. I think the PDWs are a lot of fun to use, and they definitely have their place in Battlefield 4, especially in game modes like Domination. And the PDW-R is definitely a beast of a weapon, and I do believe it to be one of the best PDWs available in the Engineers class right now. So that's about all I have to say to you good people of the internet. I hope you enjoyed this weapon review, and please let me know in the comments what kind of weapon you would like to see me cover in the future. So thanks for watching, everyone. I love you guys. You guys have been so active lately, commenting and liking all my videos lately, and I'm just so grateful. I really am. I love you guys. Alright guys, I'm Dolce, and I will see you in the next video.
Remember